My name is Lisa Mullins. I came to King's from Toronto, where I grew up, in 2000 to do the foundation year program. After King's and DAL, I went to Cambridge and did a master's in early modern studies, early modern history specifically, in the history faculty at Cambridge, and then went to history and philosophy of science for the PhD. I chose King's largely because of Elizabeth Yeo, the Register. I came and I sat in on a FIP lecture, it was Heidegger, and then went to a tutorial with Neil Robertson, who actually made me understand Heidegger by the end of the hour. And then, of course, did the campus tour and met with the Register. And after all of this, I went back to Elizabeth Yeo's office and said, I just can't make up my mind. And so Elizabeth sat with me for 2 hours on a Friday afternoon in March. And after 2 hours of sitting in her office, I decided that if the Register of the university was willing to sit with somebody for 2 hours essentially and just like watch their like post-secondary sort of crisis, that King's was probably the friendlier, gentler place to be. The real beauty, I would argue, of FIP is that it teaches students how to think critically, not only in an oral sort of discussion setting, which is what tutorials are really about, but it really forces students to engage critically with primary source texts. FIP is famous for not giving you any secondary material. You just read Plato. You don't read a book about Plato. You just read all of the Republic. It really, really forces you to engage with the text in a very different way. And it teaches you how to write an essay. When you're marking papers, if you're teaching another class, an upper year class at Dalhousie, you can immediately tell who did FIP and who didn't, just based on the quality of writing. In first year, there's a great sense of camaraderie. It's a very sort of friendly, sort of all for one, one for all attitude in residence, especially amongst the first year, because you're all doing the same thing. Halifax is it's stunning. It's a beautiful, beautiful city. It's big enough that it's still a city. But again, it's enough of a small town that you really can walk everywhere. It's very friendly. King's has very much given me a sense of self. I very much know my strengths and weaknesses. I know what interests me and what doesn't, and some of those things are very surprising. I certainly would never have been able to even guess at some of these things before I started at King's. It's made it very clear what I should be doing for the rest of my life, and it taught me a few very, very important sort of life lessons aside from how to write a paper. It's certainly unique.